Hey, so the last video did pretty well, but a lot of you guys wanted a tutorial on how to make tanks, so here we are. Alright, so here's a list of mods we need to begin. These are the essential mods. The rest of the mods I'm using are not needed at all, but let's get started. Alright, well the first thing you want to do is get a ship creator. It's this little stick in valkyrien skies. The tank can be made out of anything right now. I'll make it out of industrial iron the whole time. What we want to do, we want to give our block gravity. So now it has gravity. It doesn't look like it, but it has gravity. For the purpose of this tank, we're going to make it 7 blocks wide because I am not making a compact tank for the first tutorial. Start off with our outer layer for the tank. This is where our track comes in. Just build some basic walls on the side, just make sure the tank looks nice. And now we should have this. So next, you just gotta go to trackwork. You see this stuff's not completed. I recommend getting the large suspension or sprocket tracks, whatever. Might want to extend this just a wee bit. Remember, the blocks really don't matter of what you build this with. Just make it look pretty. You put in the 2 sprockets on each side, and then you fill in the middle with suspension tracks. So once the sprockets are in, you put the suspension tracks, you should be good. All right, now this doesn't really matter where you put your engine. I like putting it in the back. What we're gonna have for our setup here is we're gonna have this area with clutches and a gear shift. So we're gonna have a clutch here, gear shift, and in the middle is a gearbox with another clutch, andesite casing, an encased chain drive. We want this to be powered all the time. But now we have our back, and well, the rear end of our tank, it's just gonna look a little something like this. We can make the back look a little nice. This is our rear end. The reason I'm putting these spaces here is so we can put in our next component, which is our redstone link. Now, this is my setup for this, but I have redstone links here, and then I have redstone links here. Now, I probably should have explained what all of this does to you in the beginning, and I apologize. We have this setup, right? And this clutch, just make sure none of this moves. So if let's say we put a redstone link here and we give it input, this will start moving. And now these gear shifts, this will make the tank turn in a certain direction we don't want. I'll remove this. Hooray, it moves, but yeah, it's really unbalanced right now because it's really heavy in the back. All right, anyways, so if we were to give it power right now, we'll get a linked controller. Please get this, by the way. You will want a linked controller throughout the most of this, and most likely a wrench. But it doesn't really matter what signal you give it. Just make sure it's the same as your linked controller. We're gonna do it for our W key. So if we press W, yeah, it spins. That's the problem. It spins, and we really don't want it to spin. Now, the solution to this is setting up this back here, and what we want is a toggle latch. This is a latch, this is a toggle latch. Make sure it's a toggle latch. But let me check. Okay, which direction will make it spin what I want? Okay, it's this one. Now, yay, it moves like this. But the reason that there's toggle latches is so I can do this, or I can please give these the same signal. But if I were to press S, right, it would make it where it goes in reverse. It's our S shift. So hooray. Now you may be wondering why this exists, this little encased link. Well, we're gonna give it another signal, okay? Another signal for this bad boy. But I usually like doing this for the shift key, but I press W and I press shift, it goes twice as fast. It doesn't look like it, but like twice as fast. It's just so we can go up terrain faster. So now we have this setup, and last thing that's left is the clutches. We're gonna do this one here, this one there. A key. This goes to the corresponding key. So this goes to our D key. This goes to our A key. So if I ever press this, yay, go. This clutch will turn off. So corresponding side. Okay, corresponding side. But now we have this setup, which it's pretty cool. But we want it to have a mechanism where perhaps have a moving turret. That's probably what you want out of this. So let's build that. I say it's 32 for this. Now this is our next part. So we're gonna bring out a chain drive. So we have this here. Clutch, and then our gear shift. More importantly, our very, very lovely propagator bearing. This one's really important. This is the important bearing. Cool. Make sure you put the cannon mount on this, by the way. You want the cannon mount on this. The cannon mount will be on this. All right. So now we're gonna go back to this. Why did I do it like this? Well, essentially, it's so I can lock this in place and put these bad boys on it. So I can move it when I want with a different controller. All right, make sure you don't mix them up. We gotta make sure these ones have signals. And also, for our clutch one, it has to have a second one. It's just so this can move, because this clutch is preventing this gearbox from moving. I'm gonna guess which direction I can move these. Okay, I was right. All right, I practically completed the base tank. Like, I actually completed it, which is surprising. I'm gonna go cover up this back part real quick, and then we can start on this part. So this is the part of the tank that got covered. Every part of it except these parts. These three parts. So we could just slab it real quick. Doesn't really matter. But we're gonna put a seat in here. And oh gosh, it is really leaning. All right, if you want it to prevent it from leaning, just get the track wrench with this wonderful texture, and you just right click on this. So now it's not leaning. Now we have this. Lovely. Very lovely. Oh yeah, I did forget to mention, please glue everything to this base cannon part. Everything has to be connected to this cannon. This is the only part of the build that has to be glued. So the steel cannon has to be a certain length, and I really don't want to explain why it has to be a certain length. So just follow my lead. So first, we're going to start off with a quick firing breech. Then we get our steel cannon chamber. And now we're going to want to extend this. We're going to have 8 cannon barrels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has to be 8. It can't be any lower. It has to be 8. Now we have this area. And the only thing we're cramming into this area is this redstone link, which is going to dictate a little thing. It's going to fire for us. And then we're going to have a lever, and it just builds the tank. This one just builds it. So this one just assembles it. That's cool. This one just fires it. So your tank controls, make sure you have that, and cannon controls if you really want. Now for our up and down mechanism, just throw another motor in there. It really doesn't matter. Clutch, gearbox there, 2 chain drives there. All right, now we just have this part, which is one of my least favorite parts because we have to go back in the tank. But I'll just give this 2 signals. But we have to go back on our lovely tank because I was missing one essential part. We're just gonna extend the tank out just a smidge to cram in the last part. Oh, we're just gonna do this. This one just go to one, this one go to the other. I don't really care. Whatever's on the back of these, because I'm making sure those are locked with these redstone torches, so these don't have to go in the controller, but these ones on the back do. An andesite casing like this, and an andesite casing like this. Yeah, there's really no way of me cramming this in anymore without extending the height, and I don't want to extend the height. So, okay, that goes down, Bobby. Okay. Okay, there was a bit of a blooper. We extended the tank a little. I really didn't want to, but I had to. Now, here's the extended tank. I'm just going to go use vertical slabs at this point. Screw this. Okay, the tank looks a little wonky in the front because of this. But now we got this. Hooray! All we gotta do now is glue it all together. Make sure to disassemble this. Making sure all the stuff inside is connected, and then we're just gonna connect our big turret. I want to make sure this stuff should be all connected. If I were to only do that one, this all should move like so, although probably not as fast. Now you may notice the little hole in our armor. Now that could be covered up like this, like it never existed. I don't care that it clips. It's covered up now. Who's gonna notice? So now I just covered it up. Hooray! Now I can spin and go forward and go double forward. So hooray, we built a tank. Congratulations, and yes, it could work. We're gonna use a solid shot. We're gonna use a solid shot and this. So we can go around to the tank if you really want to see it in action. So we can go locate a village real quick. But look, a village. Yeah, there's gonna be a bit of clipping on this just to give the armor more protection. But we can go around the village if we want, and we can just unleash hell. So we could just turn around and fire away. Now, for our cannon, you just right-click this. Make sure the big cartridge is whatnot. But you load it up with whatever shot you're doing it with, and the big cartridge, right-click it, and then looks like it ricocheted. Alright, but yeah, this is a fully functional tank in Minecraft. You could probably make a better tank than me. It's just, you have to be more creative. Think like an engineer. But yeah, no, that's it. Have a good one.